Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shank. He decided to re-tee. That's a shank. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Two-Way Miss podcast. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, Banksy. So we're just going to jump right into it. We're not going to mess around other than saying, please subscribe to the new YouTube channel. Just go on YouTube, search Birdie and Beers. The link will be in the description of this podcast. So go ahead and check it out. Check out the new Twitter at the Two-Way Miss. Like I said, we got a lot of exciting stuff planned. We've been planning a couple of videos once we are able to get together. So be on the lookout for those. And we're very excited. Really thankful to the people who've been watching the YouTube channel. So appreciate everyone checking in. Even if you just watch for a few minutes, we appreciate it. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes. But good buddy Banksy, how you doing tonight, bud?
I'm good, man. I'm fired up.
I got you fired up. I got you fired up before the episode even started. And I said, wait, we have a podcast to record. Don't do it yet. Wait for it. So a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Man, that and a lot of stuff that are in different directions. So we're going to try and put this in some sort of creative order, but
all over the place.
And a lot of it's going to relate to what we talked about last podcast, because a lot of stuff happened about the stuff we were talking about last podcast. So we're going to start off with the waste management, and we're going to start with 16.
That's really the only thing to talk about.
Yeah, it went to a playoff that was kind of.
It went out to a playoff. Yeah, ho hum, yada yada yada. But I mean, come on, 16.
Yeah, so we talked about
train wreck you can't take your eyes off of.
So we talked about what happened, but we never really got into the specifics. We talked about just the whole in general. So you brought up that you wanted to sort of touch on, the Harry Higgs, Joel Damon run, and then the hole-in-ones, where if you didn't watch what has happened, and this is going way back to when Tiger Woods first hit a hole-in-one there, when the stadium was not a thing. He hit a hole-in-one on with the raise the roof, but people threw their beers onto the course when he hit a hole-in-one there. So now, as it's a 3-tiered stadium seating that surround this entire hole, there were 2 hole-in-ones on different days, but each time everyone in the stands chucked their beer bottles, cans, whatever they had, onto the hole. It took, a few minutes to clean it up, obviously. But what you wanted to talk about was bringing it back to, is this a good thing? Is it a good thing for golf? Is it something that should even happen in the first place?
Yeah, and if you didn't see it and you don't know exactly what we're talking about, it's definitely worth a look up.
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube, because, I'm sure. Just go look it up.
You got guys that shouldn't have their shirts off with their shirts off. Running across the greens at the golf course. You got beer flying everywhere. And we talk about, listen, it's one hole, it's one tournament, once a year. Everybody knows it's coming. Deal with it, have fun, enjoy it. And I get that part. And then at the same time, it's like no other sport. I mean, I guess at hockey games, you'll throw bears on
for the hat tricks. Yeah,
for the kids, and for the kids,
like
the Christmas toy drive or something.
Mm-hmm.
But no other sport, you're not throwing stuff on the playing field.
Yeah. So here's where,
and my only thought in today's generation of fan, compared to maybe 20 years ago when this happened with Tiger, 25 years ago when this happened with Tiger, whatever, it's like, is this the last time we're going to see it, right? Like, it's okay, I get it. One hole, one tournament, 4 days a year, and it's over. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But now, does it happen? Next hole in one we see on the PGA Tour, Is it gonna happen outside this tournament ever? And then is it gonna become an issue? Because people just seem to push the issue, push the limits. And that was my only thought. And I can't decide if it's good or bad for for the game or whatever. I haven't decided. I'm undecided. But if it gets out of hand like that at more tournaments, I think it's gonna be a problem.
I don't see it being a thing at other tournaments because at other tournaments there will be consequences. This is the one and only place and time that this behavior doesn't come with a consequence.
So you're good with it? You're okay with it?
I'm okay with it on the hole-in-ones.
Okay.
I'm not okay with it when just like somebody makes a putt and like gets boisterous and like I thought it was funny what Harry Higgs and Joel Damon did. I didn't think it warranted the whole beer throwing thing. Like a hole-in-one is a rare thing. So
I can't decide if I'd rather watch beer being thrown or them with their shirts off.
Well, listen, as a man of their similar stature, I can't really leave my brothers out there hanging. But but I think I'm good with it for hole-in-ones because they don't happen all the time, right? They don't even happen every time we're at that tournament.
Yeah.
To happen this, in these 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was one last year that I can remember.
Yeah, no, I think so.
So for hole-in-ones, I'm good.
Okay.
I think they're a rare enough occurrence that it's cool. I think when someone makes a long putt and if somebody's going to get hyped up, that's when it's like overkill for me.
Okay.
That there should be like a threshold of when it happens. I don't think it will happen anywhere else. I'd be shocked if we came on in 6 weeks and somebody hits a hole-in-one and this happens somewhere else. Shocked. So I'm still on the side of the fence of I'm still cool with it. To a point. I think for hole-in-ones, it's fine.
Like hole 17 at the Players. I guess there's not too many fans, right? You see a hole-in-one, you start seeing people chucking beers in the lake.
I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm just, I figured I'd throw it out there.
Yeah.
Because
it was wild.
It was such just a crazy scene to see.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. This is awesome. And then you're like, wait a second.
So I think we probably also have to take into account that what the past 2 years have been like, and that this hasn't been a thing for 2 years, right? Like, not that I still think people are stupid and they do stupid stuff and there's no excuse for it. But I think this was some of that pent up energy. And I think there is a precedent, right, with the Tiger thing. They always show that clip during the TV coverage, right? It's shown multiple times, over the course of the tournament. It's on Twitter, right? It's everywhere while this tournament's going on. So I think that influences people to a certain point. I'm gonna let it slide as long as it stays to the hole-in-ones. That's my stance on it.
At that tournament.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So this is a golf tournament, not a rock concert.
Not at this tournament. Nope.
Go back to your shanties.
Yeah. No, not at this tournament.
No shooter. All
not
right.
at this one.
All right. Shooter McGavin is
no. Keep Shooter for, all those stuffy places that don't let regular people in except when a tournament's happening.
All right. Well, you know what? If you're good with it, I'm good with it.
Listen, while you keep thinking about it, we'll see what happens at other tournaments and we'll, see if our opinions change if I'm really, really wrong, which is not out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, it's just, there's a new fan base over the last couple years, and I'm just curious to see how far the limits are going to be pushed, and if we see anything like that any other place. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, we will. So there is a tournament happening right now. It's a pretty good one. It's one of the ones I think we've been excited to watch. It's Tiger's, tournament at Riviera.
He is there, by the way.
He was there. He gave the interviews. He looks much better than last time.
Oh, jeez.
Thank God.
And that's you mean pre-accident, right? I'm
Yes.
assuming he looks better
Yes.
all the way around, but
Yeah. No, pre-Jim Nance
pre-accident.
pre-interview. Let's just say that.
Dear God.
So it was exciting, cool to see him back. Cool to see him talk a little bit about he still wants to play on the PGA Tour someday, which I don't doubt will happen. You can't doubt that man from coming back.
He looks good. I mean, I still see April. That's my date, man.
Yeah.
April.
I think it's going to be the Open.
Okay.
Flat, San Andreas is flat, not a bunch of hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be my vote. But good to see Tiger at least out in public a little bit. It's a great golf course. It always has a great field. So right now, Joaquin Niemann shot a -8 today, which is or back-to-back -8s. He's at -16 for the 2 days.
This course is not an easy
No,
course.
it's not. -8 is really, really good. I mean, Justin Thomas shot a -7.
Yeah, they've had perfect weather.
Yeah.
But still,
but Tiger did say that they're going to bake it out, that they're not putting water on it.
I did see and I did hear like the greens are perfect.
Yeah, Tiger said they're baking it out for the weekend to make it harder.
So it's gonna be crazy town.
Yeah.
On Saturday and Sunday.
So I mean, the rest of the top 10 is pretty good, pretty stacked. Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Adam Scott, Colin Morikawa, Cam Smith, Russell Knox. Well, Russell Knox not so much. Victor Hovland, Mark Leishman, Max Homa, the defending champion.
Your boy Max.
Yep. I mean, it kind of falls off after Max, if I'm going to be honest. A lot of the other big guys didn't play too well, like Rahm or DJ or Koepka.
Or Koepka.
Yep. Or your boy, Brooksy.
That guy.
But good to see Thomas playing well. Spieth had a really nice opening round, which was good to see.
Have you watched a lot of it yet?
I've been watching the ESPN Plus, like the PGA Tour Live.
The pre-shot routine.
Oh, it's so weird.
It's just killing me, man.
It's so weird. Yet he's just throwing darts.
I know. You can't. It's like what is the swing thought, right? Because it doesn't. Thank goodness it doesn't look like that on the actual swing. But yeah, I noticed it in Hawaii, and now it's even more pronounced.
Yeah.
I think it's even more pronounced now. But
did you see the video of him like on the range? Someone like took still shots of like he does it even more on the range.
Really,
he like dials it back when he's actually on the course.
Yeah. So yeah, just something to keep an eye on. I mean, it's obviously a swing thought and a swing change, and he's playing well. He's playing better. I mean, I don't think it's not him hitting the ball that's keeping him from winning right now. It's still getting that confidence back with the putter, and especially those 3 to 6 foot range. It's
where he used to be almost automatic.
I feel nervous for him, so I can't imagine like what he feels over those putts.
I mean, you have to think with just how he used to be over those putts, right? Every time he stood over one of them, you thought they were going in.
Yeah, especially anything like 20 feet or even longer. You're like, oh, that might go in. But yeah, it's nice to see him back. It's nice to see him back playing well, and boy, he's an interesting guy to hear mic'd up with Michael. Like, Michael's got to be like just playing. There
are like Twitter accounts dedicated to like Michael's reactions and like his eye rolls and like all the stuff that he's just been dealing with for 8 years or however long it's been.
Yeah. I mean, it is something to hear those two. Well, not those two. Mostly just Spieth. Mike.
I mean, at this point, he just has to ignore half of it. Greller.
Yeah,
right?
and I think
he's talking to himself. He's not talking to anybody else.
Right, and I think Spieth knows that, and I think Grella knows
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And it's just part of the. It's just part of the team. Part of the team process that
right.
like
And like he
Jordan just
has,
has
what
to.
else is he gonna do? He has to laugh at some of it to just stay sane.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is a complete tangent, but indulge me for just a second because we're talking about player caddies. So Steve Williams has partnered with a golf writer from Australia, and they're coming out
Oh
with a
boy.
13-part podcast series to talk about every major that he won with Tiger. I already followed on Spotify. Like, I'll find out what it's called. Something
Yeah.
like Chasing Championships or Chasing Majors or something like that. But apparently Steve gets into it with the stories, and they go through every single major that he won with Tiger.
I'm sure. And I'm sure those stories, which are going to be mostly accurate, I'm sure there'll be some embellishments too, just
I'm
to
sure.
add to the.
But still, it's a must listen.
But it's going to
They're
be
each like
yeah,
an hour plus long. It's gonna, oh my God, I'm just saving them. I just can't wait to like just
yeah,
I'm gonna go to the
that
driving range one day and just bang through a bunch of them.
yeah, that's good. That'll be great. And I think the Pebble Beach story, I'm sure, is in there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's that with the golf balls and
Yep.
that I won't
So again,
tell the
a
story now,
a
but yeah,
tangent, but go check it out. We'll be checking it out, and I'm sure we'll talk about it once we
yeah,
get done listening to it.
for sure. Boy, that's going to be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good. I'll send you the link as soon as we're done.
Absolutely.
So again, I think a good tournament, definitely check it out. The coverage on ESPN Plus for the PGA Tour Live, like in the early mornings, has been awesome. They show a ton of golf shots. Like the featured groups have been great. They had Spieth, Rahm, Thomas, Morikawa, Schauffele, Scheffler, like really good, like Hideki, really good featured groups have been on there. So, and limited amount of commercials. I know the old PGA Tour Live was like terrible. ESPN seems to be taking it pretty seriously and doing a nice job with it so far. But a really good tournament to pay attention to, watch over the weekend, especially if Tiger says that he's telling the ground crew to like dial it up to make it that much harder. It's going to hopefully be some fun golf to watch over the weekend.
So get these guys all like warm and fuzzy the first 2 days.
Yep.
And then just destroy their lives.
Yeah, I don't think Joaquin's shooting 8 under over the
No.
weekend.
The balls are going to be bouncing off the greens, and
Yep.
because that's a long court. I mean, you're hitting
Yeah.
you're hitting some longer irons into these greens, and you start baking those things out. Those balls are going to be bouncing all over the place. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to see because we've had some really really low scores
Yeah.
so far this season, like some really stupid low scores. And I get like guys are really good. They're bigger, they're stronger. The equipment is out of control.
Yeah.
Primarily the ball. I think the golf ball, again, that's probably a whole nother segment, but the golf ball they're putting out there right now are just
they just go forever and they don't spin.
they're crazy.
Yeah.
The golf balls are crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to put the course. You're gonna have to dry out these courses and flake them out and see what these guys are made of.
Yeah. So it'll certainly be exciting. If we can keep some of those guys towards the top, like Thomas, Spieth, Morikawa, Scott, Leishman, recognize again another tournament where we say like where those recognizable guys can rise to the top. Because there's a skill gap, right? When the greens bake out, when it gets firm and fast like that, there's a skill gap, right? There are certain guys who can figure it out and hit the shots that are necessary. And those guys tend to be some of the better golfers. So it'll be good. This tournament always produces a good weekend. So excited to watch the finish of that. And we'll have a good recap about that next week for sure.
Yeah, and hopefully Tiger has a driver this year.
Yeah, I would imagine. I don't think he's driving anywhere by himself.
Yeah.
Let's hope at least. Knock on wood. So for the last sort of callback to our episode last week, we talked a lot about this Saudi Golf League. Some just trickles of rumors started coming out. And for whatever reason, it seems to have sort of come to a head at Riviera. The media's stepping up their questions, like asking just bluntly, are you going, to this other golf league? And we're finding very quickly who has signed certain non-disclosure agreements and who hasn't. Who's been offered money to go to this new golf league and who hasn't. There's a pretty clear line starting to develop within the tour of who, that maybe 15. They're saying so what's been the rumor is that the Saudi Golf League is waiting for 20 professionals to sign on before they announce who they are and what the plan is. Some people have said that they have those 20 and they're now just waiting. And some people have rumored that they're going to wait till the week of the Players Championship to announce it. So others are saying, of course, when you ask certain players, No Laying Up came out with that Bryson has been telling other tour pros that he's done playing PGA Tour golf. You had Jason Kokrak, come out and say that, yes, he has been offered a life-changing amount of money and that because he wants to retire at age 44, it's a very specific number for some reason, and watch his kids grow up, that why wouldn't he consider it? He's already sponsored by Golf Saudi, so I think he's been like a shoe-in ever since we started. Phil was a no-show at Riviera. Has obviously made his comments, but some portion of a book by Alan Shipnuck leaked where he said essentially he's using the Saudi tour as leverage to get the PGA Tour to do better. This was seen by many as pretty transparent bullshit. I'm not really sure how else to say it or how to sugarcoat it. But apparently Adam Scott said he couldn't disclose what he's talked about, but he said he was interested in a limited schedule that allowed him more flexibility. Justin Rose reportedly was offered $100 million. I'm trying to think of who else I might be missing, but there's a few other players that have said they can't talk about, they can't talk about it, things like that. There are the players that have come out against it. John Rahm has vehemently come out and said he will be a PGA Tour member. Rory McIlroy, another one. Colin Morikawa spoke at length about it. Tiger Woods said he's not going anywhere. Trying to think of who else.
Yeah, and to be more specific with Phil here, his feelings towards the Saudi Golf League, they're scary motherfuckers.
Yep. And he's using them as leverage.
And from the John Rahm standpoint, he came out. I think it's great that I think it's good that these guys are showing allegiance to the PGA.
Yeah,
Tour,
Justin Thomas came out. Justin Thomas was another one.
I mean, it's not like the PGA Tour is actively trying to screw these guys over. I mean, these guys are millionaires.
No, the whole point of their existence is to make these guys as much money as possible.
Yeah, and John Rahm, in regards to the Saudi League, he says, I don't play golf for the money. I'm staying on the PGA Tour. But in the same context, like, you're doing okay, buddy.
Yeah, he has. That's another way to say I have enough money already.
Yeah, like, you're doing okay. The PGA Tour is not, penny strapping you here.
Yeah,
you guys are doing okay. And out of this, they are going to increase they're already increasing purses.
Yeah,
and they're going to continue to do it. And this isn't a Latrell Sprewell, I got to feed the family.
Yeah, right.
Situation. Like, you guys are doing okay.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine. I mean,
yeah, if you ever want some fun reading, just go down the all-time money list for the PGA Tour and see how far it takes you to find people you've never heard of who have made like $30 million plus in their lives.
Yeah. You'll find them quickly.
Yeah, quickly. It will not take long. Yep.
Like, who the hell is that?
You won't have to scroll for very long.
Who is that, and wwhy are they worth $75 million?
Why have they made more money than I could ever imagine in my whole life?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and I don't. Is Phil trying to spin this that he's like the unofficial hero of the league?
The answer is yes.
PGA.
He is trying to spin that. He is.
I'm Tiger made us all millionaires because he brought fans to the
Right.
PGA Tour. Now I'm trying to be, the second coming by using the Saudi league as leverage to get
Yep.
us even more money.
That's exactly what he's trying to do.
I'm glad that these guys are fine because you're right. The press was just going to eat that up until somebody started giving them answers, and I'm glad some of these guys and some of these bigger name guys are, coming out and being like, no, like I'm playing on the PGA Tour.
Yeah. And I think the good thing is it's a lot of the young guys.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the guys like Morikawa and Thomas and Rory and Rahm. Like, it's the guys you would be the most afraid of leaving if you're the PGA
Right.
Tour or like a golf fan in general.
Exactly. You keep those top guys. Who cares if the B list and the C list go?
I mean,
All right, whatever.
Brooks came out and said he's not interested. DJ has come out and said he just can't talk about it. But again, the guys who, if you're the PGA Tour, you're probably most scared to lose: Spieth,
Yeah.
Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, Colin Morikawa. Probably have to be in the top 6, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they've all come out and like there's a clear line in the sand happening.
Yeah, and there's going to be meetings with these players and the PGA Tour commissioners, and they're probably going to get what they want. Like they're going to get.
Oh
they're
yeah,
gonna get
there's already
more money.
rumors
I mean,
about a new fall series happening to replace all those sort of like fall series, all those fall events where like nobody cares.
Yeah,
They're already talking about changing that into like a certain event series, like maybe just 8 tournaments that have a crazy purse, so they're obviously threatened by it enough to start looking inward and see what they can change. But they have to feel good about their positioning with the players that have come out this weekend and said that they're not leaving.
yeah. But I also think some of these players, some of these guys are a little whiny too, and they need to play more.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they need to play more. They need to be there, and they need to play.
Yeah. So let's get into
Well,
like we
yeah.
said, there's a certain amount of players. There are players that through rumors and backdoor conversations that media people, not us, right? Obviously not us, but media people are saying that there's probably a list of 14 guys. Some people have said it's up to 20. Some people have said that, they've heard that it's up to 20 and they're ready to announce.
Yeah. And so are these guys, I mean, is effective immediately as soon as they sign on that line, they're banned from the tour. Like they're gone.
Well, so that's the thing. They're starting to figure out that the Saudi League is starting to associate these tournaments with the Asian Tour. So they'd still get OWGR points. If they make enough of those points, they'd qualify for all the majors. So they wouldn't sort of be this much of an offshoot.
Okay.
So that's kind of the way they're trying to circumnavigate. Because what are you going to do? You're going to say if someone who plays on the Asian Tour can never play on the PGA Tour, right? They've never said that before.
Right.
And I don't think there's a precedent for that, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
But like that, again, that'll be the thing we have to watch. What do they do? The Saudi, the Live Golf conglomerate made a significant contribution to the Asian tour as like a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of what they're using to say that all these events will be associated with that tour. We've talked about this before, and we talked about it before the show started. I want to hear what you think about what is going to make people watch this. What, in your opinion, gets anyone to turn off Riviera to turn on like this Live Golf event?
Without the top.
Let's just say with the people that are rumored right now: Bryson, Phil, Kokrak, DJ, Adam Scott, Justin Rose, Ian Poulter. Let's just use the guys that like we know
that are playing in the Saudi league.
Yes. I mean, not that we know, but we know they've been offered money to go there.
I think that I think if Phil is there, if DJ is there, and if Bryson is there, I think they're going to get enough people that might turn off Riviera and turn that on.
Yeah.
I do. I think 100%. Like, but outside, I mean, there are, yeah, I mean, but as soon as those guys are not there, then nothing makes me turn the Saudi.
So again, we
league on.
don't know if this is going to be on TV anywhere. We don't know if this is going to be streaming through an
Is
app
this a-
or a website or some sort of pay-per-view type of system, right? We have no idea how this is going to be
Right.
broadcast to the world.
Yeah.
So obviously
And what-
that plays a
you
really
know-
large role in how people are going to be able to even tune in at all.
Golf course. I mean, you said, like, what golf courses are they going to be?
There's
using?
2
You
Trump
said-
courses in the states that they've already talked to.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's put out a full list recently.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, they'll get, they'll get viewership with those top guys. I mean, I don't know. Are they planning anything different? Are they going to have new technology for us to watch?
yeah, we
how
don't.
the ball
we don't know.
how the ball flies, or all the players going to be mic'd up so we hear what they're saying. Are they going to be putting gimmicks in the tournament to try and bring more
Yeah,
viewers? That's like it's like when the PGA Tour sometimes has 2 tournaments run in the same weekend. Nobody's watching that
yeah,
B league,
right.
JV league tournament. Everybody's watching the varsity tournament.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, and with DJ playing like garbage for the last 2 years, I don't know. Does he have as big a draw as he used to? Are you turning off Riviera to watch DJ shoot 2 over every round? I don't know. I mean, Phil still. I don't know. It's a good question. I can't answer.
no, it's fair.
But,
It's there's a
but I
lot of
mean,
unknowns.
it's a. Yeah, with those couple guys there, it's a toss up. Like, yeah, I might watch.
I think there'll be a certain novelty at first, but then when you realize who you're watching, it's like you're not gonna turn it on enough.
Right, and that's the thing. Are we gonna watch DJs and Phil's every shot?
Right.
Or is it going to be like a PGA Tour event where we watch DJ hit a shot and then we flash over to other holes and we're watching someone we've never heard of?
Yeah.
We could give
Right.
two
Some
craps
random
about?
Asian tour player.
Yeah, right. Or are we going to go to the PGA Tour and watch? Okay, Thomas just hit. Now we skipped over to watch Spieth hit. Now we skipped over to watch Justin Rose hit. Now we skipped over, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
watching, as opposed to the Saudi League where we, watch Dustin Johnson hit a shot, bunch of no names.
Right.
Then we watch Phil hit a shot, bunch of no names. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I personally will not be pulled from the PGA Tour, to watch a couple guys that I
Yeah.
know of. So
Yeah. I mean, look,
and that's the thing too. Like, if this would fold, like, for whatever, if the guys don't, let's say the guys go to the Saudi League, doesn't get the viewership, doesn't work, the league falters or crumbles or whatever. Does the PGA Tour ever let these guys back? If it is a situation where, okay, you're playing with them, you're gone, like, you're done, you're kicked off the PGA Tour team, is that like a lifetime ban, or are they allowed to transition back? It's going to be interesting. I do like that a lot of the guys are just getting it, no secrecy, no hush hush, no bullshit. Like, no, I'm playing on the PGA Tour.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. And I'm happy at who has said that. I'm happy about the players who have said that they're staying. I don't think I'm not shocked by any of the players they're saying like that are rumored to go over. I think
Right.
Adam Scott shocked me a little bit. I don't think I was quite ready for him to sort of be like that. He seems like a pretty upstanding guy, a moral guy.
So how many of these tournaments are they obligated to play in? Like he doesn't even
Eight-
live. I
18,
mean,
I think, is the number.
they would have to play.
Have to. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I mean, are they taking a tournament to Australia? I mean, he's not around much, is he? I don't even know where he. Like we see Adam Scott rarely on the PGA Tour.
Yeah,
And now he's going to commit to 18 tournaments, and maybe that's what he plays on the PGA Tour too. I don't know. I just feel like we don't see Adam Scott that much, and all of a sudden he's not only going to jump ship, but he's going to play more tournaments for this Saudi league than he does on the PGA
yeah,
Tour.
but if you only have to play 18 tournaments, like, and they're spread out, you know,
and it's guaranteed
plus the majors, and it's a
and it's
no cut
guaranteed
field,
money.
and it's guaranteed money.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. They're really. I mean, they're trying to make this as enticing as possible.
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, obviously, there's a lot still to be uncovered about a lot of things. I have appreciated all the media coverage about it. I've appreciated that media members are just asking flat out, like, what are you, like, what have you been asked? Who has contacted you about this league? Are you in or out? They're basically asking just, are you in or out?
Yeah. As they should. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
They should.
But I've appreciated that because golf media can sometimes just want to be friends with everybody. There's not a lot of guys who are writing a lot of articles about, detracting from a lot of these players.
Yeah.
But they're just coming out and asking, and I've appreciated the coverage in that sense. Still a ton more to come, a ton more that we're going to learn over the next couple weeks. And man, if they announce this during the players, man, those got some stones on them, don't they? Sheesh.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that'll be something.
it'll be something for sure.
I think, and two, back to your point, are you gonna watch? Like, I think the PGA Tour has a loyal following. So out of principle and respect to the PGA Tour, I don't know if a lot of people will watch.
Well, and
I don't know.
here's the other thing. If let's just say they have to put it on BBC or BBC America, like half the people tune into golf because it's on CBS and NBC,
Yeah.
and ESPN. It's channels that people outside of our demographic can just turn on one channel, right?
Yeah.
And know that golf's going to be on.
Right.
If you need an app or some sort of streaming service, or it's on some obscure channel up in like the 800s of your TV guide,
Yeah.
old people aren't going to watch that. All those casual people aren't going to watch that. They just know that they can flip on CBS on a Sunday afternoon and probably catch a golf tournament.
Yep.
So
you're
I'm
100%
really
right.
interested in how they're going to broadcast this to the world,
Right.
because I think that plays an unbelievably large role in how many eyeballs are going to be on this thing.
For sure.
So obviously we'll keep, the more we hear, the more we'll talk about it each week. But a lot of stuff has happened this week, even just the 2 days of Riviera. So obviously since we touched on it last week on the sort of morality of it, and, if we think people should even be playing in it or not, we wanted to follow up. But man, we jumped a lot of places, buddy.
We did. We hit a lot. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. Lucky to have a good golf tournament to talk about. A good golf tournament last week to talk about. All these things popping up.
We got some good ones coming up. It'll be a night. It's going to be a good couple of months before that magical week in April.
That's right.
It
is good. This is the sweet spot for the PGA Tour. So it's good to have some stuff to talk about. Again, a short one tonight, but I think we covered a lot of really good topics, a lot of really good follow-ups on the stuff we talked about last week. So we'll be back next week to follow up on Riviera. If any new news comes out about the Saudi League, we'll bring that up. We'll have a couple other topics to talk about next week that I have been thinking about. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. just go on YouTube, search Birdies and Beer Podcast, or there'll be a link in the show description that you can follow. That'll take you right to this episode and right to the channel. We appreciate everyone listening, everyone watching, whenever and wherever you might be. As always, a big thank you to the good buddy Banksy for jumping on with me, and we will catch everyone next week. Have a good night, everybody.
And, hey, feel free to swing hard, everybody.
Always.
Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.